Hey guys, welcome back to another video of mine, where I react to things that you guys request and do covers that you also request, even though no one's done them yet. That's fine though, I still do them regardless, and I really hope that those who appreciate me, specifically not just the videos, enjoy them as well. Today, I'm going to be reacting to bass, baritone, and tenor, low and high notes. This is to showcase the timbre quality for all three types, and more specifically, the fact that they are more comfortable in certain places than others. I did not get a request to do this reaction, by the way. I just thought to do it because I saw a similar thing with females. Alto versus mezzo-soprano versus soprano. And now I want to see if it sounds similar with male voice types. Let's start. Bass, baritone, and tenor.
And I fell for you like a child. Whoa, the violin wild. Duncan, I love.
Sorry, I gotta go back.
I'm a child, and I fell for you like a child.
I heard it.
Whoa, the violin wild. Duncan, I love.
I want to quickly say that this bass that sang the D might have been a baritone himself, because he was putting on a bass effect when he went down into the second octave. Before I go any further, the D4 that the bass hit sounded very similar to a tenor. I might have to listen side by side after this video to really hear a difference if I'm wrong, but I feel like he's not a true bass since he was putting on a bass effect to show that he can sing low notes, and it was either through subharmonic register or vocal fry. My point being, I don't really think that he is potentially a true bass. It would have been much heavier, if I'm being honest. It sounded very similar to the baritone after. That's why I'm saying he doesn't sound like a true bass. I might be wrong though. I'll have a listen after once more to see if I'm wrong about that.
I'm going there, no more to roam. Most of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet, and I fell for you like.
And you ain't going
nowhere. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. My heart for life was still there. Oh, say nowhere. For me, never enough, never enough. Hallelujah, for me, never enough.
Yeah, slightly too high. Yeah, that definitely was slightly too high. The last guy that was the tenor in this example looked a lot like Dimash when it was being previewed in the video. And then I heard him and I was like, that is not Dimash. Essentially, imagine a really intense sound for each of the same notes, and then they decrease in intensity. That's essentially what bass to tenor vocal quality is for certain notes. And also, if I really tried, I could be as comfortable as Scott was in this example, which sounded like
Never enough.
not that.
For me, never.
That high G is relatively same quality as my high D. Ha!
For me,
Of course, it's much harder to do it with vibrato. Again? Okay, we shall listen to it again.
never enough. 네가 없이 난 하루도 살 수가 없어.
I hope you heard that.
살 수가 없어.
That's not what I would call too high. It's more like not his comfort range. Definitely not mine. I haven't even attempted a note like that. Well, yes, I have actually, but the highest I've ever gone was more like a semitone right below that, which is this note here. Ooh. They're singing the note. Ooh. But at the same time, I would not be singing that high on a regular basis. I don't even think I sing that high when I practice regularly. It's only certain songs I will go for it because I know it's what the song requires. An example being the phantom part in the song Phantom of the Opera, the main song of the musical Phantom of the Opera. The highest note that is required of you is a high A flat. That is my absolute guaranteed limit for any song. Can I hold it? Yes, but it's really hard. Especially when you know that you eventually want some vibrato on it, and relaxing into that will be really hard without letting your voice break into falsetto. Basically, imagine singing "ooh" in semi-chest head voice. I meant semi-chest mixed voice. Head voice is almost not an exception. Relatively speaking, men can't get away with it as much as women can. Otherwise, they just might sound worse switching like that than it would for women. I hope all of this makes sense. And even though it sounds quite easy for them and quite high for them, it's still relatively easy for the baritones and the rest of them to sing it down the octave. This is the note they sing. This is the note it would sound like belted in mixed voice. Ha! Yeah, of course it's a yeah, quite easy notes for them.
It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
It's been a ruin of many a poor boy.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Way to go, Mitch, just sounding like a wide vibrato using opera singer. That's not to say he's a bad singer, but it's just something I noticed when he was going low.
Disturb the sound of silence. Lead me to your door.
Yes, Arian. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram to check out my latest post. I compared myself to him when I had a certain vibe going. Didn't mean for it to happen that day. I just did something.
And my heart won't try. And it may
That sounds like me if I really tried on the low notes. And at the same time, it's really hard because I'm still going through puberty.
aches a fiery wind. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of
Why do I feel like he sang that outside of his chest voice while still possible that he did it in his chest voice? For some reason, when bassists sing like that, it makes me think that no matter how low you are of a singer, you always have to use some sort of extra register to get that low no matter what voice type you are. Even girls are capable of doing that. I've heard it myself, and I can link you to a video in the description, and I can link the time code to check for it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you got some value out of it for me to be describing the differences between these voice types, especially since I heard a high G being almost strained to hold. Of course, it took me a while, but I finally realized that going up to those notes are relatively easy as long as you keep in mind the concept of space and support. If you want to check that out, go to my Facebook page in learning how to do that. I hope that you give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Make sure to click subscribe and the notification bell next to it if you want more reaction videos like this. And make sure to comment down below if you have a specific request for me to react to. Check out the playlist at the end as well to watch other reaction videos I've done, as well as the second playlist below it where I have all my covers. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next week. Bye.